Hi there, welcome to another sim racing corner video. I've got something pretty cool to show you today. What you're seeing right now is the SRC Signature 8020 build from the last video in VR at a real 1:1 scale. I'm walking around the model that we created in MakeCAD. I think this is fantastic. This is so useful for demonstrating our completed designs as close to reality without building them for real. The VR software we're using here is called Masterpiece VR. When I completed the SRC Signature video, I noticed MakeCAD had some additional export options, and that gave me the idea of the possibility of rendering our model designs in VR. Masterpiece VR is a sculpting application and also imports 3D model formats. There was some messing around converting between the 3D formats that we needed, but we managed to work around the problem, as you can see here. Another useful feature we can do in VR is bring in a chair and sit in our virtual cockpit design and get a feel for how it fits around us. If we need to make adjustments, we can return to MakeCAD and export another version and test it again. It goes without saying how useful this really is for our design process. Going one step further, we can import 3D modelled wheel and pedal sets and other accessories and attach them to our virtual cockpit to give us further information about our design. Okay, I'm going to switch over to some other footage I recorded earlier, and we're going to do just that, so keep watching and I hope you like it. Hello, welcome. Before we start accessorising one of these rigs, or the rig, what I wanted to show you is these are the models I've imported from MakeCAD from the last video, which was the SRC Signature build. And so on here on the left, this is the LAB GT1 design to scale, and in that video we kind of produced this version and altered the pedal area to kind of optimise the design and kind of just remove some of the bits we thought we'd get away with here, and to change the, to just make it a bit smaller but to give it exactly the same sort of usability. And then in the final part of that video I made this one, which was cutting down the Signature build and then having an overhang of the kind of seat rails there. So we can see them all lined up, because I thought this might be interesting, because although it's icon for me, it may be a bit more obvious than it may be to you, because to me it's really impressive. I'm standing in it, I'm at my right height, I can see it, and this is exactly how it would be if these things were existing in front of me. So that's kind of how useful this is. I can go up to it and I know that's my waist height and I know where it's going to be, and everything is scale. I look at it and it looks in the right place for me in real life, so it's perfect. So this is really, really good. But we can see it lined up, and then we can just see I've lined up the front edges, and if we go to the back we can just see how much smaller each of them are compared. It's all the same height, the width are all the same, but we just kind of compressed it. We shortened the kind of the wheelbase effectively, the base, and to kind of have less material and just give us something which may be useful for someone with a smaller space. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. I'll tell you what I'll do to maybe help with some scale is I'll bring in let's have a look, import. If we can import a figure in, what should we have? Let's say bring in a figure. Bring in a lady. Everyone likes a lady. There you go. She's a nice strapping lady. Let's scale her up. So I'll scale up to my height, which is, for reference, is 5'6", and then if we put the model near that's kind of about right, the eye level. Okay. So if we put her over here, just make sure it's about right, and we go back. You get an idea of kind of what a human size looks like with my height compared to the sim rig around it. So that's kind of useful as well. It's quite cool. Okay, so over here, as you can see, there's a bunch of kind of models here. They all don't have any textures and stuff like that, because it's just the way the format support for Masterpiece VR, it kind of strips it of any kind of colours and stuff like that. So that's kind of why they're all grey, but hopefully it's fit for purpose. Fortunately, because AT20 is all kind of silvery grey, it looks kind of normal, but so it actually works quite nicely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this one, because I've got Hulk strength, I can grab this and move over here so we get closer to what we want to do. Because everything floats around like this, it's getting our, making sure we get it flush on the floor, because it just kind of goes through the floor. So we just need to make it so it's fairly accurate. Where's the camera? Oh, it's over there. I'm in the right place. That's good. So you can see me okay. Look at that. So we've got triple monitors, triple monitor mounts without screens, a variety of pedals. So you can see over here we've got a full Logitech set. So that's a G27, which is pretty cool. It's a Thrustmaster. T500, I think. I'm not sure if I kind of scaled it right, because when you import it, it imports at a really small size. You can see it just made it go massive. So you have to kind of scale it to what you kind of think is about right. So I've never used one, but just by kind of some sort of my perception of logic, I'd imagine it's kind of, I've had a G27 in the past, and that's, I think, that's pretty accurate, that sort of size. So I'm assuming it's probably in this similar sort of zone, maybe a little bit of a larger wheel rim, I expect, because they're more powerful. So maybe that's right. That looks massive on the back, the base. I'm not sure if it's ever that big, but I don't know. Someone has to tell me whether or not that wheel looked kind of accurate. Let's get rid of that. How do we get rid of that? Oh, there you go. Got a couple of seats, which is quite nice, racing seats. Got a button box, some pedals. So I think those are some CSR pedals, some Fanatics, quite cool. Got motors. That's a midge motor. That's just a generic kind of servo motor, and that's pretty amazing. Someone modelled a bracket for our midge, so we use that. Fanatec. Was it sequential 1.5 keyboard, generic handbrake, some kind of some nice wheels we can play around with. Okay, so first things first, I think pedals. It's a high-end rig, so we're gonna not use those, but so we're gonna go straight onto this. I'll whack on these. These are kind of aren't modelled on any particular brand. They're just kind of there. But I thought they're quite cool, and they're kind of flat-faced ones. So if you're going to use like Heusinkveld or something similar, you know, some high-end pedals, then it'll kind of be that sort of design anyway. So I think it's kind of fits in quite nicely. I do need to make sure I place them correctly first time, because when you place the small models and the big ones, if you're trying to move it, it selects the larger model on the outside. So I do need to be careful that I kind of get it right first time. So if it's a bit wonky, I'm going to have to leave it like that. So let's have a look. Yeah, that's sort of realistic position, isn't it, I think? Oh, I can get it. Oh, it's alright. Oh, I tried it earlier and it kind of really, it didn't work that way. So that's cool. I do have a bit more adjustments. So let's try and get it right then. There you go, pedals, you can stay there. Next thing, I guess, let's get a bracket on. So this may not kind of fit exactly on there, but you know, because it's just not kind of, I can't move those. I can't move the kind of things, but we can see how it would mount using this method. You can see it just bolt through on those. So let's just kind of put it in a reasonable kind of position. These are probably a little bit long actually, but that's okay. They could obviously be moved backwards, but I kind of, in the design, I kind of gave it a bit of extra slack just to have the benefit of the doubt, really. So put it like that. Whoops. Go over here, and we use the midge motor. I don't know if that's kind of accurately I've sized it quite right, but they look quite big. They're meaty, those motors. So I think that's probably fairly good. So let's just pretend it connects up like that. It's alright. That'll do. stick on a wheel. It's got a deep dish, or this thing that's modelled on the Sparco. Yeah, so we just kind of, we'll just put it there and pretend it's connecting using our Q1R quick release. It's pretty good. It's coming on quite nicely already. And the seat, so we've got a couple of choices here, and this one's a cooler one, so let's stick this bad boy on. And yeah, so it's not going to be accurately modelled, or the kind of the seat rails and all that sort of stuff, but it gives us a position, right? And I think that's kind of important. Just get down on my knees, try and find a nice position for it. Of course, if we had the seat rails there, we'd have the adjustment on the seat rail moving back and sliding back and forward. So even if it is central there, you know, we have some kind of some movement. Because let's move around here. It's not really central, is it? So I'm trying to be kind of as perfect as I can, but yeah, that'll do. Sorry. I don't waste time just kind of messing around with things and trying to get it perfect, because it's virtually impossible anyway. Yeah, so we've got a basis of a kind of working model now, haven't we? This would work. It's you've got the seat pedals, wheel. That's it. It can work nicely. But I figured for you guys that like triple monitors over VR. But you know, what are you thinking, eh? Get VR. That's what I say. Let's stick that on there. Get a nice. We need to get it close, don't we, to get the good field view. But yeah, I don't know. Would that be right for you guys? If you were, well, obviously not wonky to the side like that, but go behind. There you go, triple monitors. It's looking pretty cool now, isn't it? What next? Yeah, we want to have a get our sequential shifter on there somehow. And what I have done, so you see this mount here. Well, this is just a bit of seemingly just random 80/20. This is actually modelled on mine, so this is the exact same dimensions of what I've used on my rig. So if you look at my Simrig tool, one of my early videos, you'll see this in there coming up, and you can see my stuff attached. I've got a HE kind of handbrake attached on there, and the Aiologs sequential shifter on there. So yeah, so this is actually quite good. This is a good kind of method of testing modifications, because I can then get the right length and I can put it in here, and I can see that's going to attach around like that, and we can see where the reach is. So we know this is obviously the furthest back it's going to go, but obviously I can move it forward. But it allows us to kind of look at materials and see if we're going to get something which is going to be suitable, because I'll bring the chair in a bit and we're going to sit it in it, and we see how it all kind of lays out with it in our kind of virtual environment. And but here, I guess, because we don't have my one, we'll just whack this kind of sequential, well, the sequential H-pan shifter in there. So my one kind of goes on the top here, but I guess here you'd do it a little bit differently, but I guess you could man on the side that's a bit close to that. But say if it was my shifter, it's kind of more central like that. There you go, kind of like that. And put the handbrake in there. See, it's not the right orientation for my handbrake, but I thought I'd fit in here anyway, just because it's kind of like a representation. It doesn't have to be the exact model, it just needs to be something which represents it. So yeah, so my handbrake is kind of that orientation with the arm that way, so it should really be around, the arm's kind of more like there, in actual fact, and kind of a little bit on an angle actually, like that. That's pretty cool. Well, a little bit wonky, but you know, along those lines, I think that's kind of a good one. Just kind of around there really, because it kind of curves up. So yeah, sorry, I'm just being like really finicky. I'm gonna leave that because there's no point, is it? It's gonna make this video go long. And now we've got that in there, we can maybe think about getting a button box in there and a keyboard. Because now it's kind of busy now. It's going to be, how do we kind of get these things in there and to make it work? And I thought that's kind of another thing you can prototype in this. We can kind of bring in a button box to whatever size, and then we can kind of figure out, could it fit there? Could it fit that way? And if we kind of fit it that way, how do we attach it? So if we kind of have a positional, although it's obviously not fit, it's not attached to anything, it gives you a reference point of where you're going to be connecting it to your wheel stand here, onto the kind of that section there, and then you're going to get an idea of how much of a crush it will be in space. Because that's I'm kind of putting around what mine looks like, and obviously not the quite exact equipment, but it's close enough to represent kind of the layout of my sim rig. And if we get a keyboard over here, because those are kind of useful, aren't they, right? And that's on here on my side, and it kind of swings around on my setup using a monitor stand, monitor stand I bought from Amazon, and kind of just modded it to create this sort of arrangement. Although I don't have triple screens, I just have a single monitor that swings over. But I thought I'd fully kit it out and make it look boss, and there we go. And let's bring Debbie McGee over, our assistant, and she can stand there. There you go. And you can see what it'd look like to human scale in the sim rig. I think that looks pretty cool. I think that's brilliant. So where's my chair? I'll have to lift the visor a second. Chair, okay, chair's over there. I'll bring the sim rig to the chair. Need to look a bit. Okay, I've got enough room. I got the mat here, so I make sure I'm in the centre of the room. Otherwise, I'm going to be like, when I'm walking around, you kind of forget that you're on VR and you just kind of like walk into the wall and stuff like that. So that's just my method of knowing where I am. Okay, is that right? Yeah, it's close enough. I'll go in there and kind of sit in it. Right, okay. I'm trying to avoid all the stuff here, like it's real. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Okay, so here we go. I'm sitting in it. 1 second. Get the cable away from my back. There you go. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, guys? Look at that. Perfect. That's perfect for me. This is how I would actually have it, where you kind of have the top of the wheel kind of just by your nose like that. That feels great. And this is exactly how my equipment's kind of laid out. That's probably a little bit. Okay, let's do that. And oops. Because I guess my shift is more like that height in reality. I guess my button box is more like there. Raise there. Oops. Kind of selects the wrong things. Just be careful. That's about right. Height is about. Height might be a bit high. I think the arm's a bit low anyway, but yes, it's close enough, right? But here we go. So we've got my wheel. Can spin it around. Magic wheel. So yeah, can have a little Formula wheel, huge truck wheel, but that's about realistic. About 300mm wheel in the right place. Keyboard's around there. Kind of swings around there. It's cool. It's in reach. Look at that, because my the controllers are my hands and they're accurately in the right position, so get an idea if I can reach all this stuff and poke around. I can get to that, get to my I can reach my button box nice and easily, and then we can do seats there. Well, the seat's kind of a bit low, but that could obviously be adjusted in different ways. I mean, if I was sitting lower, I'd probably lower the pedal deck, because there is some kind of room here, or just kind of do something with my my seat rails here and just kind of raise it with some profile and everything up a little bit. But yeah, okay, so let's stick my controller in my sock, and then we can just see the reach of where the pedals are. This is a quick test. So, oh, sorry, it's a bit awkward. Bear with me. Okay, so that's about right. It's okay. Well, I'd probably be a bit further back, quite honestly. So yeah, I'll probably be a little bit further back here. It's quite difficult when you're not actually putting your heels on something, right? But yeah, that's kind of, it's around there, and that's about right. I can obviously move my my motor forward, my wheelbase forward a little bit, and get that kind of distance. But yeah, just shows you this is a complete build, accessorized, and we can kind of see we got a reference point of whether or not we can fit in it just by looking around. You know, I can put my controllers up by my legs here. So let's get rid of that. But just by my knees, and we can see how much room I have. You know, so when my legs are up, I know I'm not going to be colliding with the top here, and I've got enough room on the sides, and all my gears in reach. I mean, that's obviously a bit low down here, but that's just because it's just part of the model, and it obviously can be adjusted in real life. But yeah, this is brilliant. Let's have another quick tour around it. Let's get this chair out of the way, because I'll pile into it if I'm not careful. We can have another look. So what do you reckon? Brilliant, right? I think it's amazing. So yeah, I'll be any new builds I do where build them, make CAD and export them to here, and we can just play around with them and just see what they look like all built up. Okay, so that's the end of this segment. I'll fire you back to me again for a final outro with a better sounding mic. Okay, thanks. Hi, and welcome back to the disembodied voice of Sim Racing Corner. That was pretty great, right? Discovering this has really inspired me with some new ideas for future build videos. So keep an eye on the channel for more of these. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Indeed, one of the projects will be a new design which we'll take from drafting in MakeCAD, testing in VR, and then building it for real. Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting. So I'm really eager to get started. As it is a more complex project, it's going to take a little time to organise. So I'll run it as a multi-part video, as it would be great to get feedback from you guys at each stage. It's not likely to be the next video I have planned for Sim Racing Corner, but it will be soonish. I'll sign off for now. Thanks again for watching. Hit the like if you want to support the channel, and indeed subscribing would also be awesome. So take care and happy simming, and bye bye for now.